Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back. So today I want to talk to you about what has inspired me to learn how to play drums. Like I don't have enough instruments to play. So for me it's been about becoming a relief drummer at our church. Our drummer can't always make it. And drums really do fill and make the body of the song like really good, right? So that's one reason. The other thing is I want to add drums into my own music that I write. And to do that, I need to learn how to play drums, you know. And I thought, well, that'd be kind of cool, you know, do the whole multi-track thing. And because usually what I'll do is I'll play guitar and sing, right? And of course I can cut that all in one track. But when you start adding other instruments in, now you need other tracks. So now I gotta, you know, do things differently. Same as keyboard. I have a keyboard again that I call the pacifier. Because it's going to be a makeshift keyboard until such time as I can afford my glory keyboard that I really want, that's got all the bells and whistles and then some on it, and it's only $1,000, but I got to figure, how am I going to come up with that money, you know? This one only cost me $300, you know, which wasn't bad out the door, you know, but it's a smaller keyboard even compared to the last one I had, which was an EW400. This one is an E363 by Yamaha, and it does have a lot of the same type of features as my EW400, but it's got a lot less keys, and there are some features I wish it had that it doesn't have, like the pitch bender and a few other things. But it's kind of like, you know, well, you pay less, you get less, right? You know, and so I looked at this $1,000 keyboard by Yamaha along McQuaid, and I'm like, I started playing on it, it's like, oh, weighted keys. Count the keys, 88 keys, boatloads of sounds, other recording options, mic options, the whole thing. It's like, this is like the glory hound of Yamaha keyboards for me, right? And I know they do have even better stuff than that, but for what I need and for what's going to motivate me to really spend more time on the keys is actually this keyboard, so I really do want it. And I do have the space for it because it's only about an extra foot longer than the one I got now, which is in here, and I still have just enough space for me and one student in here when I'm teaching guitar. And so that works out. But the other part of this video is why I went with an electronic kit over acoustic. Well, a couple of reasons. My landlords happen to live upstairs, and an acoustic kit wouldn't go well, except when they're gone. But you know, it would take me forever to learn how to play drums if I had to wait until they're out of the house for the night, right? And it's like, well, that kind of sucks. And the amount of space an acoustic kit takes. And the fact is just, this is what you got. You got tom, tom, tom. Yeah, and it's like, that's boring. To me, anyways. You know, no offense to you guys who play acoustic kits. And I've seen some guys on the Facebook groups that have these massive acoustic kits. And it's like, what do you need all those cymbals for? What do you need all that extra stuff for? And then I started thinking, well, I'm really not much better, except in a more condensed package. And so anyways, I do have a sample pad by Elysius, which gives me 4 dual-zoned pads, plus an extra trigger input for another option, right? And I can put thousands of sounds into this thing, which is really cool. So it expands my kit that much more. I've got my module has, you know, like a wiring harness with a computer plug, so it runs all the basic stuff, but then it has 2 extra ports for another crash, and of course another tom, which I've got the brackets here mounted, but I'm still waiting for the nitro mesh tom. My end result was, I had a DM6 kit, I ended up getting rid of it, I traded it off to a buddy of mine, and because the tom didn't quite look as nice as the nitro mesh, and it was a rubber tom, not a mesh tom, and you know, the cymbals, I tried using them on here to avoid, you know, spending money, and it's like, well, they are too big and it just didn't look right, and I wanted everything to look proper, and I'm kind of OCD, I guess, that way, or ADHD, whatever you want to call it. I'm very particular, and I thought I could get away from my particularity, but I can't. So I decided, well, I'm going to order in the parts I need for my extra crash, so I got that. So I do have an alternate sounding crash. And of course we still have the ride, and then of course the other nitro mesh. Now another reason why I went nitro mesh too was the rebound is adjustable. Like a real acoustic kit, you can adjust the rebound, but an acoustic kit, when you adjust your rebound, you change the tuning of your kit, which could be a good or bad thing depending on what you're playing. And it's a real pain in the neck to retune all the time and all that, and it's like, you know, these things here, I can tune the mesh without affecting the sound, but I can change the sound of the tuning of the drums on the module. So even though there's almost 400 different sounds in here, I can create them into any way I want within the limitations of the module. And if I want the kit to grow with more sounds, I can just go buy a Yamaha module, a Roland module, a D-drums module, whatever module I want, I can buy, throw on this kit, and the only thing that's going to change is the wiring harness, you know, and all the plugins are going to be the same. So it's like, well, expandability. So your parts are pretty much about 97% cross-compatible with all electronic kit brands and models out there. So you can really mix things up a lot. And if you want to make your kit even bigger physically, it's not that hard to add on extra pieces and do stuff. Alesis has parts, and you can make your kit even bigger if you want. So the limitations are of your imagination when it comes to these things. But anyway, so when I first set up the kit, I set it up as normal, right-handed kit. But one of the habits I had that was apparently a bad habit was I'm here on this would be the hi-hat, we'll say, and down here would be the snare. So I'd be like, now I could do that part, but then when it came to the other stuff, I would be too wild, you know. And so to try and hold the sticks the proper way, as they say, hi-hat with the right hand and left hand on the snare, it was a lot more difficult, and I'm still too wild on the kick, and I'm putting too much punch in. I couldn't get a light hit, and to do that, you know, that double tap or triple tap type of thing, I can't really do it very well. And I had no strength in my left foot to run the hi-hat, right, to put it up and down to close it and open the hi-hat. You know, like, well, and then my buddy says, look, just switch your kit to left-handed. There are left-handed drummers in the world, you know. I mean, you just reverse the kit, you know. And so I had to, you know, take certain parts of the kit apart, because I had to move my snare, of course, and it's on a different kind of a shaft, and I had to move the hi-hat and the module, a few other things. And so I got it all set up now. And so now, things are better. Now I can do things a lot better. I'm learning much quicker. I'm getting more accurate. Sorry about the squeaky chair or throne. It's a Guitar Hero throne. Hey, it only cost me under 20 bucks. It's not the most comfortable seat either for long-term sitting. I gotta get a better throne. Found one I liked, but oh, the price, but I gotta have it. Anyways, so I'm learning a lot quicker now. The other thing that's helping me learn drums much faster is I took the advice of the Drumeo channel. One of the guys that does videos for Drumeo, the way he learned was to just jam along with his favorite songs. It was the easiest way, you know, because you want to play your favorite songs. What better way to learn it than from the original artist? So in this case, it's drums. So one of the Matt Maher songs I like, the beats kind of, it goes like this. Very basic beat, which a lot of songs will have that exact same beat. The difference is during the song, there's a couple sections where it does this. And getting that speed down was kind of challenging at first, you know. And then there's a roll in there that I still haven't quite figured out in that song. But he's got a lot of other songs, God, I hate this chair, that the beats are easier to hear everything. And so I've been able to really pick those songs up much quicker. I haven't memorized them, but anytime I play them through my iPad, through the kit, I can play along with them really well. And it's like, wow, I'm doing pretty good. Because I don't really get a lot of time every day to play this. You know, I mean, I've got a regular job, I got my YouTube channel, I got teaching students, I've got church Wednesday practice, and then I got church on Sunday, we have practice, and then our main set. You know, and everything else in my life too that I do, like go to Long McQuaid as often as possible to see what other kind of trouble I can get into. Recently it was a new Jackson guitar, and this week it might end up being another guitar that I want to get, which is actually right-handed. And because I can play both ways, left and right. I'm just far superior left. But I want a right-handed electric guitar. I don't want another acoustic. I had an acoustic that was right-handed. And, you know, I was more or less ignoring it, and it's like I feel more comfortable playing electric, right, when it comes to right-handed. It's just easier for me. So I go with what works better for me, right? And that's what you need to do too, is what works for you. Now, I'm left-handed dominant, and for me, I probably would have taken a longer time learning right-handed, because originally at first I could do like... I could do that, but now I'm having a really hard time, but I just can't do it this way properly. Because my foot won't work right, and this hand won't work for the snare properly. So it's kind of like, well, what do I do? You know, so I figure, well, I'll listen to my friend, I'll set it up left-handed and see what happens. So I guess I improved pretty drastically, and I'm only getting like 10 minutes here, 15 minutes here. Last night I actually got a whole 4 hours straight in just trying to cut this video, because if anything could go wrong, it did during the video, right? And I'm like, you know. So today I killed a battery, so I think this is hour number 2 in this morning already. You know, but when the landlord's not home, I can actually run my amp. When they are home, I run the in-ear monitors. You know, I can play my guitars when they're home or not, but it's not a big deal. And I don't generally turn the volume up that loud, right? But they don't mind, even if they can hear it a bit. But the drums, that's a little obnoxious, right? And I do have 1,000 watts of horsepower on this amp. It can get quite loud. I'm only running my module at about 12 o'clock right now, and my amp is at 3/4. So I have the availability to about pretty close to about 600-700 watts out of that 1,000 right now. So if I crank things up full blast for my module, this is going to get a little loud. That could be a little obnoxious. I should have put a warning on the video. Please turn down your speaker volume. This is going to be obnoxious. But you know, it's a quality sound. I love that Cerwin Vega powered PA speaker. And that's only got a 10-inch in it. They have a 15-inch, and I'm like, I wonder if I should upgrade to the 15, because 15 is like, boom! Yeah, maybe not. I'm quite content with this one. Maybe another 10-inch on the back of this thing, I'll be happy. And just put it over in this corner. Then I'll have like stereo going at me and you know, kind of like the animal shirt. Anyway, so a bit of a crazy drummer. But I have my Alicia sample pad too for more expandability, which is great, you know, because I can do even more stuff above the kit once the kit's completely maxed out with that last tom I'm waiting for. But I like the drums. I think it's cool, and I'm liking them a lot more than I thought I would. Like, I like the drums. I thought, you know, can't be that hard to learn, you know, and it really isn't that bad. The fact that I'm always used to tapping my right foot anyways when I'm playing guitar, and I'm, you know, playing and doing chords, I got 3 out of 4 going. What's one more, right? And the one more in this case is my left foot, which happens to have to run the kick. And it works, you know. So I have the capability, because I wondered, do I have the ability and capability to learn to play drums? And I didn't know if I would or not, even though I just went whole hog. I thought, all right, well, there's $529 for my kit, a couple $100 for the sample pad, another $500 for an amp, and you know, then I ordered the extra parts, and another $300 worth of parts to expand the main kit itself out on the module. And it's like, am I nuts? Am I even going to be able to do this? Because, you know, if I fail for some reason and I end up selling the kit, I'm going to lose a lot of money here. I better be sure. But then I thought, you know what? I'm pretty good at doing anything that I really want to do bad enough. I will do it. And because it's just the way my drive in me works, you know. And so far so good. So I think I've got a pretty good grasp on things. I can only get better and better over time. And you know, and with doing this with my own music too, I will learn a lot about, you know, even slowing down more for certain things and speeding up in areas where I need to. But I think for even my own music that I'm going to record and have, you know, a drum track in it, it's going to be pretty good. Now the other thing too, and I'm going to give you guys some good solid advice that I've learned on my own without being told, and that is to find the sticks that work for you. Now I am favoring these Zelgen sticks a lot. I am going to pick up a set of Vic Firth sticks that also have a rubber coating. They just don't have this balance point area. And this balance point area works in a couple beneficial ways. If you want, you know, more of a them up closer. If you want more power, so you get a bit of that going right here. But now you can. And I tried. I can't do that yet. So fancy stuff with sticks, you know, it's like, you know, let's toss the sticks around, you know, like, see if I can pull that off. Once in a while I try it, because I see guys doing it, I'm like, I gotta learn how to do that, you know, stick juggling or whatever you call it. But anyways, these sticks I favor the most. I do have other sticks. I recently picked up a set of these Blackwood sticks. I don't even know what they're made out of. It's not paint though, it might be a stain, but it's a pretty deep penetrated stain, because there's a little hole here and it's black in there too, so I don't know what they're actually made out of for wood, to be honest. But they're not super heavy, so I don't think they're ebony, but for $4.50, you know, I didn't complain. And lighter sticks can be faster, but less authority behind them. You know, so there's advantage to lighter sticks too, and these are like a 7/8. And then of course I got many other stick choices, including my fire sticks, which a lot of you I'm sure have seen on my channel. And this is my multicolored set. I also have red, green, and the blue ones, but these change colors randomly. Clumsier than what I'm used to, because if you look at them, I mean, they're almost the same length. They're like about a quarter inch longer, but they're much thicker and heavier than the Zelgens or the other sticks. But they look cool when they're lit up in the dark too. So if you're playing in the dark, not complete darkness, but you know, they're fun. Anyways, I have videos on all these fire sticks, so check my videos out for fire sticks. Because I actually have like pure darkness basically, except for a little bit of, you know, LED rope lighting and stuff. But I like the drums. I think they're great, and I know I'm going to go a long way with them in a very short and rapid amount of time. My vacation for the winter is coming up from work, so I've got like basically 9 to 12 weeks of total bliss of no working, and I can just concentrate on the drums, concentrate on my keyboard, concentrate more on my own music, which I haven't been able to do in a long time. So I do look forward to my time off of my regular job, and so it is kind of nice. So then I just got to juggle, YouTube, church, and the other stuff, right? And it's like, cool. I'll have lots of time to play drums. Yes! And of course, like I said, the keyboard as well. But yeah, that's where I'm at with this. And I don't say that any artist has ever inspired me, per se, to even play guitar, because it's kind of like I don't have any favorites, There's groups that I like, yes. There's songs that I really like to learn, yes. But the inspiration to even take up guitar for me was never from anybody. My parents started buying me guitars when I was 5 years old. Then I got toward my teens, they started buying me keyboards, more guitars. Then I started taking lessons when I was 14 for guitar. And I never took lessons ever for piano, but I do have a book that teaches me like over 1,600 chords. I can't read piano music yet. It's a little different, but I am going to be learning to read music, period, because of drums, and I have a book on how to play drums, and it has a lot of stuff in there. It teaches you how to actually read all the notes and all that other jazz. In the meantime, I'm also learning more all the time, even on guitar. Like, you never stop learning guitar. You cannot master any instrument, so if you think you can master something, like, you really got to get a grasp on things. You cannot master any instrument. It's all instruments constantly evolve, they change, they're different things come up, different ways of doing things, always changes, right? So you never actually master an instrument, but you can get really super darn good at it, I'll say that. And it's just a matter of time and dedication. How much you put in is what you get out. And I think for me with the drums, once I learn a lot of songs, and I can also learn to memorize them, that'll be even better, because then once I've got even timing down really good, playing in church will be a snap, because a lot of our songs are 4/4 time. We get the odd one here and there that are 3/4 time, and a lot of the 4/4 timing stuff is pretty straightforward even for the drum rhythms, so it's not that difficult. It's just the whole roll thing. I actually tried playing in church once before I even got the kit, and I played on our drummer's kit the one night, and I sucked at the hi-hat and the kick, but I actually did pretty good on the roll in the song where it was required. And it's like, well, I'm learning. It's a starting point, Then of course I went out and I got a kit, and so okay, wow, hey, I mean, if I can do a roll, and get that down right first shot, I'd never tried drums on that song in my life. I figured, well, maybe there's some hope for me, because I've got 3 out of 4 limbs working with guitar, because I'm tapping the foot all the time, playing guitar to keep time, and then you got your 2 hands going, what's one more limb, and can I do this? Because then you got 4 things going on, and all different types of patterns, and that's the weird part, right? Because even with your kick drum, you can be kicking flat foot, or you can lift the heel up. Kind of different when your foot is in the air and all it is the front of your foot at the front of the pedal, and it's like, that's kind of odd. But it does help in some rhythms to lift the heel, where others you might want to keep your foot flat. Alternate your foot up from being flat to up high with the heel and back again, and you alternate that too in kick patterns, and it works out pretty good too. So I'm learning a lot really fast, which I'm really, I'm pretty proud of myself for what I've accomplished so far in drums, and anyway, so that's where I'm at with this. So that's my video. This is what has inspired me to learn how to play drums, and showing you a few things that I've been learning even since the last video, because I'm doing update videos from time to time, of my progress on drums, because I think it's important too, to show where my progress, where I started and where I've, ended up in each month and so on, and for the amount of time I get. And like I said, I'm not getting a whole lot of time at this, but in the next few months, where I have my time off of my regular job, I will get a boatload of time on this kit, and that is going to be where I'm really going to accelerate really fast, and that's what I'm hoping for. And so those should be some very interesting videos that we come up with. And once I feel confident enough, I'm going to bring a couple drum tracks into some of the songs I've written, and see how those go and how you guys like those on my channel compared to the way they were done previously with no drums, right? And then we'll add keys in too for certain songs as well with drums and so on, and see how it goes. But yeah, that's where I'm at. That's what I got for you guys today. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more. Right now the weather's kind of funky, so for my RC fans out there, soon I will have more RC videos going up. But in the meantime, we're going to do whatever we can do in the meantime to work around the weather system and still keep the channel with new content all the time. So anyways, thanks a lot, and we'll catch you on the next one. See ya.